Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just jump right in today. We are tearing down a highly provocative and honestly pretty eye-opening perspective on success, comfort, and what it actually means to build wealth and purpose. We're going to analyze some powerful insights that challenge the very foundation of the traditional middle-class dream. So if you've ever felt completely stuck in the daily grind, or if you've wondered if there's more to your career than just paying the bills, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to unpack this whole philosophy step by step to really grasp the mechanics of a true success mindset. Let me hit you with a question right off the bat. Are you just working for that 31st day salary? It's a pretty brutal reality check, isn't it? A massive portion of the workforce shows up for 30 days straight with literally only one real motivation: the paycheck waiting at the very end of the month. The entire month's effort just turns into this endless waiting game. And that mindset fundamentally changes how you view your work, turning it from a place of actual growth into nothing more than a transaction. So, where does this transactional mindset come from? Well, our source material suggests that the middle-class mentality is heavily infected by this massive overarching desire for a ROM, which means comfort. It's a fascinating and, kind of controversial point. So many people spend 40 or 50 years of their lives working, but their ultimate goal isn't really to create anything or make an impact. It's literally just to secure a state where they can finally stop working and relax after retirement. Comfort just becomes this invisible driver for everything. Section 1. The disease of comfort. Let's look at what happens when kicking back becomes your ultimate life goal. This whole safe life illusion pops up in some very specific real-world ways. Think about it. Why do so many parents absolutely obsess over their kids getting government jobs? Most of the time, it's not out of some burning desire to serve the public, right? It's because of the perception that it requires less work and offers total security. Take the education system as a striking example. You have people wanting to become teachers just so they can sit around, distribute khichdi, free meals, and collect a salary without actually having to put in the hard work of educating anyone. It's a culture of completely avoiding accountability and escaping effort, all in the name of a comfortable life. Section 2. Compulsion versus love. So, if seeking a perfectly comfortable, unaccountable life is a trap, what's the alternative? Well, it means we have to brutally redefine what mehnat, or hard work, actually is. It means working out of genuine love for the craft. We really need to tear down this illusion that simply showing up and suffering makes you a hard worker. Because dragging yourself to an 8-hour shift and cursing your boss the entire time, that is not hard work. That is simply majburi, compulsion. You're only doing it because you feel like you have to, not because you want to. Look at the sharp contrast here. When you're driven by compulsion, you clock your standard 8 hours, you hate the boss, and you stare at the calendar waiting for payday. But when driven by love, man, someone operating out of love effortlessly puts in 10 or more hours. They don't need a boss to micromanage them. They are entirely self-driven. And it is this exact person, the one working out of love and not compulsion, who actually has the potential to rise all the way from a peon to a CEO. This dichotomy right here determines your entire life trajectory. If your mindset is just a money chaser, your motivation is that 31st day salary, and the outcome is that you stay stuck, period. But if you're a capability builder, motivated by a real love for the work, the outcome is that you create history. People who merely desire an easy life don't make history. It's the people who have a fundamental rejection of mere comfort who end up doing incredible things. Section 3. Outgrow your money. This is where we shift the focus entirely from the external reward to massive internal transformation. Listen to this thought because it's the absolute core of this whole philosophy. The question isn't if I made 1 crore. It's whether I became a man worth 10 crores in the process. Think about that for a second. Making the money is fine, but the true value of the journey is how profoundly it transforms your capabilities and your character. It's all about becoming a person whose intrinsic value far, far exceeds their bank account. And that brings us to the number 101. Why 101? Well, look, if you only chase cash without building your own capability, the moment you lose that money, you're finished. Game over. You won't be able to stand back up. But if you have outgrown your achievements, if your capabilities are actually greater than your current wealth, you could be stripped of absolutely everything. You could fall 100 times, and I guarantee you will rise 101 times and easily rebuild your empire from scratch. Because the wealth wasn't in the money. The wealth was in you. To really illustrate this idea of intrinsic capability over external appearances, there's this fascinating personal anecdote from 2018. So a young speaker gets invited to give a motivational talk to the Indian Army, which is a massive honor.
But when he arrived at the commanding officer's office, he was dressed purely in a simple, traditional village style. No fancy suit, no tie. And because of this, the commanding officer literally looked right past him, totally doubting his capability, and actually asked, "Where is the person who is going to speak?"
But the speaker's mentor dropped the absolute perfect response. He said, "You don't judge Sachin Tendulkar's greatness by his height or width. You'll know it once the bat is in his hands." I mean, what a brilliant analogy. True worth isn't proven by a suit, a tie, or any outward flashiness. It is proven purely through action, skill, and undeniable capability once the mic or the bat is actually in your hands.
Section 4. True Purpose and Reality. As we enter this final phase of the explainer, we actually need to slow the pacing down a bit. Because for all our talk about hard work and building capability, we are ultimately forced to confront the profound limitations of wealth.
Let's be real. If your only goal is making money, there are incredibly easy ways to do it. You could just sell tobacco or liquor. You wouldn't even have to look for customers. They would line up for you automatically. But that is just chasing cash. Finding a higher purpose means taking the difficult route, like working to promote health, trying to keep people out of hospitals, and genuinely serving the well-being of the nation. When you are driven by that kind of purpose, you naturally reject sitting around comfortably because you know there is vital work to be done. And why does that purpose matter so much more than money? Because of this ultimate reality check. It's a harsh, inescapable truth. All the money in the world cannot cheat death. You can build a massive empire, but immense wealth completely and utterly fails when it comes to bypassing our own mortality. To starkly illustrate this, consider the incredibly tragic case of the T-Series owner's young daughter. Now, T-Series is a massive, immensely wealthy company. When she was diagnosed with cancer, she was flown straight to Germany for treatment. They had access to limitless financial resources, the best doctors, the absolute finest facilities in the world. And yet, she tragically passed away in her 20s. Money, right in the face of life's final reality, is entirely powerless. This anchors a vital realization for us. Your health, your time, and the actual purpose you serve matter infinitely more than the cash you hoard. Which leaves us with one final lingering question today. If all the money in the world cannot bypass death, what is your true purpose? Are you really just counting down the days to the 31st for a paycheck? Are you just seeking a life of unaccountable comfort? Or are you out there building unbreakable internal capability, working out of love, and serving a purpose that actually matters? I hope this analysis has challenged you to rethink what you're building with your time. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.